Y ahora sí, voy a hacer la videoclase del taller de programación nivel 2, ¿no? Pobre, son los últimos que hice el video. La verdad que había hecho para todas las clases, faltaba simplemente esta. ¿Y qué vamos a empezar diciendo? Vamos a responder una de las primeras preguntas. Por lo menos para saber, ¿qué es programar?
Nowadays, just about everything requires some form of programming. So, what is it? Programming is basically explaining to a computer what you want it to do for you.
When you're programming, you're teaching possibly the stupidest thing in the entire universe, a computer, how to do something.
Programming is one of the only things in the world that you can do where you can sit down and just make something completely new from scratch, you know, whatever you want.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something, or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but you know, what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than, sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
Well, if it's fairly simple, why aren't there more of us doing it? Over the next 10 years, there will be 1.4 million jobs in computer science, and only about 400,000 grads qualified for those jobs. That's a shortage of 1 million people. So, how do you start?
Después de haber escuchado lo que significa programar, ¿por qué es tan importante saber programar?
Now it's just limited by your imagination and sort of what kinds of ideas what kind of understanding can you build into the computer so that it can do these things that were previously impossible.
All great things are built in teams when you collaborate with other smart people.
You're testing your ideas, you're stimulating each other. That's what makes us successful. It's not some flash of brilliance by somebody who then codes 24 hours a day for 3 weeks. It's what happened. The magic happens when we're all on the same page, collaborating and building something together.
There's a much greater need in the world for engineers and people who can write code than there will ever be supply. And so we all live these very charmed lives. To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
I just think you have to start small, right? And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about computer science and programming overall is that you have to learn this big body of information before you can do anything.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read? Do you have to be a genius to do math? No? No?
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
I think it's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
¿Qué es el lenguaje HTML? Lo hemos visto el año pasado, pero ahora vamos a recordarlo.
HTML es un lenguaje de programación que se utiliza para el desarrollo de cualquier tipo de páginas de Internet. HTML se trata de las siglas que corresponden a Hypertext Markup Language, es decir, lenguaje de marcas de hipertexto, siendo por ejemplo un formato abierto que surgió de las etiquetas SGML o estándar generalizado de lenguaje de marcación. Las innovaciones de HTML están fundamentadas en un concepto traducido generalmente como estándar de lenguaje de marcado generalizado, al que se le entiende como un sistema que permite ordenar y etiquetar diversos documentos dentro de una lista. Este lenguaje es el que se utiliza para puntualizar los nombres de las etiquetas que se manejarán al ordenar y no existen reglas para dicha organización. Por eso se dice que es un sistema de formato abierto. HTML también se encarga de desarrollar una descripción acerca de los contenidos que aparecerán como textos y sobre su estructura, al igual que complementar dicho texto con objetos diversos, como lo son fotografías, animaciones, entre otros.
Y así hemos llegado al final de esta primera clase, donde fuimos viendo algunas cositas que tienen que ver con la programación. Ya la semana que viene seguimos subiendo más y más información para que ustedes sigan continuando y puedan resolver la guía que les dejé.